Welcome to Toffee TV. This is the instant match reaction to Everton 1, Watford 0, the final home game of the 2016-17 season, and we won it. The 13th game we've won at Goodison Park this season out of 19. 4 draws and 2 defeats, of course, make up the 19 home games. It's finished the way it started, with a Ross Barkley goal. The team, pretty much what we predicted on the starting 11. It was probably the best team Ronald Koeman could go with, given that a lot of the younger lads are away with England under 20s. You know, Ross Barkley came back into the side, you know, and went back in over on the right-hand side where he started. And obviously Morgan Schneiderlin was fit again and he was back in the midfield. And listen, there isn't that much to say about the game. It started off quite a flat affair, you know, got absolutely soaked on the way in. With this balmy May night, set off in bright sunshine, parked the car, walked the ground, absolutely drenched. Yeah, it was a little bit of a end the season-y type nothing on it game, wasn't it? You know, and neither team could really get going. Watford, you know, the two lads up front, two big lads up front, Deeney and Okaka, who looks more like a rugby player than a footballer. You know, they were trying to rough up with Williams and Jagielka, but I thought Williams and Jagielka dealt with them really, really well. Just nothing really happened in the first half. There was a great little flick round the corner by Ross Barkley to Tom Davies, and he ran forward, got it out of his feet, and it's a really good shot, which Gomez parried away. And that was probably about it in the first half. We had one where Ron went past the defender and he should have hit it, and then he tried to take him again. But you know, we got to half time, nothing of any note had really happened, you know, and Ronald Koeman, seeing that there was a lot of space on the right hand side, but Mason Holgate wasn't making the most of those areas. And it's something that he said about John Joe Kenny, how good his delivery is into the penalty area, and that's why he took him off at Swansea last week to get that. And Mason, again, he's a really good defender. He's great 1v1. You know, good pace about him, but just in that final third, it shows you where we miss Seamus Coleman, of course. And John Joe Kenny lost him in the 23s the other night, and he was fantastic at getting down and putting dangerous crosses in. So we made the change, quite a brave change at half-time, put Tom Davies out at right-back, brought on Enner Valencia. And Enner Valencia, whether you like him or you don't, you can never deny that he changes the game. He makes a difference nearly every time he comes on. He comes on, goes up there, you know, wherever it be, on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, and Ron looks happy straight away, and we look like we've got more of an attacking threat, and that's exactly what we had when Valencia came on. He made some really good runs, a couple of great balls across the box that got blocked, and all of a sudden, Watford were on the back foot, which they hadn't really been in the first half. It was a slow first half. The second half started with a little bit of speed. And then it was lit up by probably the moment of the match. Ross Barkley picking the ball up, carrying it forward, give the goalie the old eyes and whipped it back into the far corner from outside the box. And I think that's the first goal we've scored outside the penalty area this season. And it's come in the last game of the season at Goodison Park. So like I said right at the top, the season started with a Ross Barkley goal at Goodison, and it's finished at Goodison Park with a Ross Barkley goal. After that, we should have had the penalty. I've seen it on the monitors below me. Ron made a bit of a meal of it, but it was a penalty. It was a shot. I think it might have been Enner Valencia that has the shot. Gomez parries it, and it comes out to Lukaku, and he gets a touch, and the lad takes him from behind. It was a penalty, but Kevin Friend, who got everything wrong tonight, was absolutely rubbish for both teams tonight. He waved the penalty claims away. And then we had a few near misses, didn't we? We had shots that went across the goal. No one could get on the end of crosses. Watford had two really good chances. One, Morgan Schneiderlin slides in, makes an absolutely brilliant block, which would have been an equaliser. And the second one is a Joe Robles save late on to deny Watford a point. We have another good chance near the end then of Valencia. It was a great little move, got played in. He should have really dinked the keeper. He just hasn't got underneath it, and Gomez has made a comfortable save. But, you know, you can't help. You're looking at that tonight and you're thinking, you know, Romelu Lukaku looks like his last game at Goodison, you know, if you're to believe the media and everything. And he went out in a little bit of a damp squib, wasn't it? He didn't really perform. Ross has won the game for us. Didn't have a great game, but he's won the game for us. And you just wonder, you know, watching them on that lap of honour, neither of them seemed overly interested. You know, Ross looked a little bit sheepish going round on it. The vibe, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, but it doesn't look good for him staying at the moment. And there'll be people who don't care. Fair enough. There'll be people who will be gutted like me if he goes. But I trust the manager. If the manager thinks we can do better, if he thinks that Ross Barkley isn't worth what his agent's asking and thinks he's worth, then fine. You know, we move on. That's what it's about. I said it on the Friday show on Patreon that a few years ago this would have been catastrophic. Now, the Lukaku goals thing may yet be. That may prove to be, because getting goal scorers is difficult, and that's why they cost so much money. But it's up to us, it's up to Steve Walsh, it's up to Ronald Koeman to plug that gap, however you do it, with another out-and-out goal scorer, with 3 forwards, hoping that they can get 10 or 15 each. You know, that's the way they're going to have to go with that. The Ross Barkley thing, I think it'll be a big miss, because I think he is a special player. Yeah, his decision-making is crap at times. Yeah, he slows the game down sometimes, but I also think the lack of movement ahead of him stops him making some decisions. But I'll just be disappointed if he walks out the door. But, you know, it'll be because Ronald Koeman thinks we've got better options and can get better players in there. And in the long run, that's all that matters. The team matters. Players will come and go. Players will come through the ranks and leave. Players will buy, will have for a couple of years, and they'll move on. That's football. That is exactly what happens. And it is what it is. If that's the last time we see them both at Goodison, I'll remember Ross Barkley's performance. I won't remember Romelu Lukaku's performance, but hey-ho, he's had a fantastic season, 24 goals. It's a bit mad, because the other week I was thinking he's only at 30 because he is flying, and it's just tailed off like he kind of does the last few weeks of the season. Probably just knackered. But hey, but Ross will be remembered for getting the winning goal on his last ever game at Goodison, and it was a really good goal. A couple of notable mentions before I finish. Garner, absolutely phenomenal. Last home game of the season, every blade of grass covered. Fantastic performance. Tom Davies, outstanding at right back. You know, just fitted in. Great in midfield. Went to right back. Just got in, passed it, won it, got up, supported. You know, had a little bit of arty-barty. Doesn't mind that side of it. Absolutely brilliant. And I thought they've had a bit of stick at times this season, but I thought Phil Jagielka and Ashley Williams were excellent, because they were up against 2 big, strong, physical men who were elbowing them and jumping into them, and I thought they handled it manfully. So some really good performances there, I thought. And obviously Joe Robles back in the team and another clean sheet. So, you know, we just looked more assured with him in goal. There was only really one moment in the second half where the ball come through and it got flicked on, and he should have just come and claimed it, and he ran back to his line. I don't know whether he was a bit scared after what happened with Burnley, but there it is. That is the final home game, Goodison Park, this season. We've won it, our 13th home game. Look out for Ped's instant match reaction. Look out for the play ratings. Look out for the final word, which will be Monday. We'll just chock it over the weekend. So it's going to be Monday. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon on Toffee TV.